Good morning and welcome to In the Loop Weekend Ag Talk brought to you by Alphen Insurance Agency. We hope you've had a good week. Let's jump over to the markets and see how things finished up on Friday afternoon. Corn finished the week down with March corn finishing at 676 and a quarter. December corn finished the week at 595 and three quarters. Wheat was a shining star on Friday afternoon, finishing up. March wheat finishing at 741 and a half, and July wheat finishing at 751 and a half. Cotton had an up and down week. March cotton finished the week at 86.70, while December cotton was up to 84.67. Soybeans, March soybeans finished at 1506 and a half, and November beans finished the week at 1352 even. In North Carolina Ag Highlights for the week, the North Carolina Sweet Potato Commission had their 2023 annual meeting this Thursday in Goldsboro. Some highlights of the day included a business session led by Mr. Brent Leggett, the president of the North Carolina Sweet Potato Commission this year. Distinguished Service Awards were given, legislative updates, discussions of Loris Band and IR4 updates, sweet potato production and market value, information given by NC State University Extension, grant update, information for controlling guava root knot nematode in packing facilities, and the day finished out with NC Food Innovation Lab discussing sweet potato leaf protein. Starting Sunday, the 61st National Sweet Potato Convention will be hosted by North Carolina down in Wilmington at the Wilmington Convention Center. We wish all of those visiting the National Sweet Potato Convention a great meeting and hope you enjoy your time in North Carolina down in beautiful Wilmington. When we look at U.S. ag news, U.S. ethanol production posted a sharp rebound in the last week. Weekly output of a little over 1 million barrels per day was up 6.9% on the week, but minus 4.3% down versus same week last year. But this is the best week since early December. U.S. acreage estimates are starting to come in from the Farm Futures magazine survey that conducted a survey of 560 U.S. farmers from November 28 to December 30. The survey indicated that farmers plan to plant 90.5 million acres of corn in 2023 versus 88.6 million in 2022, a projected increase of 2.2%. U.S. farmers intend to plant 88.9 million acres of soybeans. That's an increase of 1.7% versus last year. All wheat acres appear to be up 6.8% compared to last year. The National Oilseed Producers Association released December crush data, and it looks like the crush was down 1% versus November. Much of this is blamed on frigid weather and snowstorms that came through many areas in late December, slowing down the pace of crush. U.S. corn shipments improved this week, still running behind 30% from same time last year, with accumulated sales versus the year before down 47%, with most of this reduction coming from China lowering their export purchases from the United States. When we jump out and look at World Ag highlights, Argentina has been in the news all week. Rains are falling over Argentina on Friday morning. On Friday through Tuesday of next week, some areas are going to get 2 inches of rain. Accumulation should continue through the week, with some areas seeing even 3 to 4%. When you look at Argentina crop estimates, though, they continue to decline. The Buenos Aires Grain Exchange pegged the country's corn crop at 44.5 million metric tons versus 50 million metric tons previously. The USDA also cut its estimates by about 3 million metric tons. Now, time for a little fun in the program. For those of you that watch every week, you know that we rotate through Women in Agriculture, community spotlights. Sometimes we'll do a something to consider, usually talking about financials on the farm. We'll occasionally look behind the scenes at employees at Alphen Insurance, And the one I love the most is a look back in time where we look back at the history of agriculture. This week, we're going to do a community spotlight and talk about farm boys and football. In rural eastern North Carolina, nothing goes together like bacon and eggs, Pepsi and peanuts, Mountain Dew and square nabs, ham and collards, sweet potatoes. Well, anything goes with sweet potatoes, pork barbecue and vinegar based sauce, and last but not least, farm boys and football. The Union of Farm Boys in Football goes back further than anyone listening to this message can remember. The Union of Farm Boys in Football stretches far across America, from the tobacco fields of eastern North Carolina out to the cornfields of Iowa, down through the cotton fields of the Delta, and over the feedlots of Texas, and up through the vineyards of California into the forest of Oregon. Every state has farming communities that live for Friday Night Lights every fall. Every winter, farmers and football players are in the shop and in the weight room, doing tune ups and overhauls for the next season, putting in the work that nobody ever sees. Those important tasks will ultimately determine how things turn out on the field and in the field each fall. Come summer, the hot sun makes the crops grow and conditions the players for what is about to come. August 1st arrives, and the farm boys see their dads finally smile and allow them to get away from the farm for a few hours late every afternoon. Excitement is in the air. In 4 to 5 weeks, the lights will come on every Friday night and the gridiron battles will begin. Over the next 8 to 10 weeks, the farm boys and the city boys suit up, work together, and fight to win the bragging rights for the next 12 months. The farm and the football field have molded and educated young men for generations. Racial barriers are dropped and unity is formed as young men learn to accomplish common goals. They learn to win. They learn to deal with losses. They learn to live through times that build stories they will tell forever. Those who win their last game remember that feeling forever. They talk about the catch, the run, the tackle that helped them win the state. Those who lose the last game still say, "What if?" even when they turn gray and get long in the tooth. The lyrics of a popular song perfectly describe that last game of the year ending in a loss. It says it's a boy's last dream and a man's first loss. Unless you've ever suited up and played, you just don't understand. It's kind of like trying to describe taking out the last barn of tobacco before you're forced to sell your farm while talking to someone from New York City. High school football and farming memories pull on emotional strings and can get tears flowing from even the biggest men that I know. I am blessed to live in a farm community with strong football roots, championship roots. North Duplin Rebels, 1972. Wallace Rose Hill Bulldogs, 1994, 2009, 2010, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. James Keenan Tigers, 1960, 1962, 2007, 2013, and most recently a congratulations to the East Duplin Panthers, who won state in 2022. Many of our neighboring counties have done the same. Just change the name of the town, change the name of the players, and the stories are the same. Just stop at the local diner or barber shop in September and listen for a spell. You'll quickly find out who won and what year it was. 32 years later, we still talk about my high school winning state in baseball back in 1990. At the same time, we also tell stories of Barn and Tobacco with Mr. Tommy and Mr. Bobby in the 80s. Farming and football talk never gets old. Many lessons are learned on the farm and on the field. Many men are formed on the farm and on the field. Agricultural communities stick together. So do football communities. It saddens me that we're no longer using dozens of local boys to help with summer crops on the farm. So many of these young men are missing out on the development that happens by working on the farm. Man, times have sure changed. At least high school football hasn't changed. A good friend of mine coached youth baseball for many years. He's noted for always saying, recreation baseball is baseball at its purest. I kind of feel the same about youth and high school football. They play to have fun and they play to learn, to win, and to learn to lose. They play to create memories. They play for bragging rights. This all gets ruined once they get to the college and pro levels. At those levels, it turns into a focus on money, or the players are used as poster children to push political agendas. There's nothing pure about that. In closing, we salute all of those farm boys, whoever were able to enjoy the experience of being state championships. And we tell you, keep telling your stories. The history books keep records of wins and losses, but they never seem to capture the stories quite like those who played the game. Just like farming stories told at the old country stores, football stories get better with age. I hope you've enjoyed this look at farm boys being the boys of fall. Maybe this spring we can talk about the boys of summer and some of my memories of farm work by day and baseball by night in rural eastern North Carolina. Thank you for tuning in to In the Loop Weekend Ag Talk, brought to you by Alphen Insurance Agency. Thank you to all the farmers who help feed and clothe America. We want you all to tell your friends and family about us, like us, and share us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Recommend us to your friends. And remember, keep mental health a priority at the farm and at home. Make time for yourself and make time for those around you. And remember, give us a call. We'll come to you so you can focus on farming and family. Have a great week.